Hi, the training in this module, this is module 2. This is the Prestige Personal Branding training, and this is very different probably from what you've come into this program doing. If you come in from being an expert but in a mainstream business model where you're basically, it's a job business model where it's an hourly rate for your services. This is certainly not that, and I know you already know that, but I'm just starting at the beginning. So this business model on which I'm giving you the training is a descending business model, and what that means is, opposite from mainstream, is that we start with higher fees and we can sell down. Mainstream is the traditional hourly rate where you scale up. So when you're mainstream, you're competing with, you may be an expert, but the business model, unfortunately, is you're competing with everyone else in the label of what you do. You look like everyone else, you sound like everyone else, and it's a feeling that you're out of alignment. Often I experienced that when I was in hourly rate. So let me explain it. This is not luxury. If it was luxury, you would have come into this program paying at least 50K. So this is not that. So luxury is different again, but this is more premium, whereby it's still a descending business model. And what that means is you're going to be starting with charging fees in alignment with the quality of how you present your personal brand, your marketing, who you're being from the vision. It all goes together. So this is the descending business model when you're charging fees that are substantial, and you've got your cash flow very, very comfortable. Then you can start selling down with smaller products, smaller services package, maybe, $497, $197, things like that. So today I want to cover your branding. So my branding is basically, as you can see, there's a creative component here. I'm quite feminine, I'm quite girly, I'm very congruent with all of that. So with your prestige personal branding, you need to, once you get this done, you will grow into it and embody the new identity, because it's really, you do own it. It's very, very, it's a feeling also. It's very much a feeling. I love that about this. So let me start with, when you're charging much higher fees, you can't do that if you look like you're just in off the street, rushing to be there for the appointed time. If you sound like every other Joe out there, you cannot command those higher fees. So this prestige personal branding is for practitioners, is for business owners who are quite experts in their chosen field. Even if you're a photographer, even if you own a dance studio, it's the same. So what that means, you're wanting to provide service from your passion, from your purpose. And the thing is, you want to give that beautiful transformational, not only the result to your future clients in this space, but it's the experience of the working together relationship that's very, very elevated from mainstream. You can't do that if you're worrying about money and if you're just a generalist trying to cram in and over deliver in an hourly rate. So the experience that, if you've got the right clients, the experience that you give them needs to be very impacting in the working together relationship. And when you're calmer, and when you're happy, and when you're financially abundant, you can be your best and you can give your best. So this comes into the personal branding, and what follows this is, you know, the next module will be on the positioning statement, to position yourself in the marketplace. But this is about your branding. Like, you know, there's branding everywhere. Some of the iconic labels are your Coca-Cola, your Chanel, Taylor Swift. She's very iconic. There's many others, but that's just to give you a concept. That's the iconic. The branding there, they would be paying millions for that, to be marketing them in their iconic personal branding, because it's who they're being, just like Coca-Cola. Been around a long time, but it's iconic and it's all branding. That's what sells. So I want to talk about your brand, how you set yourself up in your identity of this. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to really shine and to really blossom out the branding that you'd love to be known for. And it's many things, and it is the aesthetics very much. As I said, when you're commanding higher fees, people are going to get to know you like through their first contact. In some cases, their first contact will be when they see you, your website, see you online, what you do, who you serve. They see your posts, they see your videos. So it's very much about being the same in terms of a high standard of who you're being as your brand, your message to your audience, whatever that audience is for you. It's not for me to tell you. But your brand is to set you apart from all the other Joes who are just blending in that sea of many, and they're just saying the same old clinical things that are so boring, and people switch off within the consumers switch off within 3 to 5 seconds, really. So with your brand, what do you want to be known for? What do you want your audience to know you for? That's one aspect of this, which ties in with your marketing, your positioning statement. So, you know, steps. So this one here, we'll do some of the housekeeping. Your stage is where you're going to be showing up, taking some photos, doing some videos, and doing probably a lot of your Zoom calls. We'll call them interviews, or some of you may do diagnostic consultations, but a lot of you will do interviews. Lovely 1 hour conversations that you've invited a prospect to. Remember, they're not a client until they pay. They're all prospects. So your branding of how you show up for the interview, probably on Zoom, you know, your whole branding persona, your stage around you, you're giving those prospects an experience. So it's not only your words and the questions you are asking them about their expanded vision, what they see for themselves, what you see for them, the opportunities, the possibilities. So your branding is very much a big deal. There's one shamanic healer that I know of, and her branding, like she's charging, I think it's about 100K for someone to work with her for only, 12 weeks. And part of her branding, because she's in that very deep healing work, she's very authentic, and she's got her dreadlocks, and they're done in a way like she's a queen. She doesn't look like a hippie. She looks beautiful. Another lady I know of, she's all about her colouring. Her branding, there's a theme of her colouring right through all of her marketing. If you're in the very corporate space, that's part of your branding. You need to be having your tux jacket on and looking corporate, not only sounding corporate. There's got to be a match. If you're a creative and you're an expert, you've got to be an expert to be in this program. You show up with authenticity, and that's part of your integrity of who you're being. There's many others. So if you're a chef to the very rich, to the very wealthy, part of your branding here is to be really authentic in what sets you apart from other chefs. Do you see what I mean? So if you're an artist and you're going to build your business on helping other artists, you be the leader for them. You might work in a studio where your canvases are gigantic. You might have paint all over your work pants. You might have a particular hairstyle. You might talk with such passion. So that is your stage. That is your business branding stage. Do you see what I mean? So your branding, because that's going to immediately show people, the people who are right for you, who you're right for, where there's a fit. And so if you're, do you get the giving you those examples? Like if you're like a post-divorce coach, if you're a dating coach, I give you guidance on, if you are stuck, on how to set up your stage and your identity, your personal branding with your people, with the people you want to be helping. So this personal branding really ties in with you and how you want your business to flourish, the people who you want to work with. Because remember, in this prestige personal branding space, you're not going to be mainstream where you've got to dumb down and just take anyone in off the street to do an hourly session, so to speak. So I want you to get into your heart space of the type of people who you want to be working with, and that is going to be showing up when I'm doing the training on marketing. But for now, keep in mind the people who, like if you're 64 years of age, you're not going to be aiming at 25-year-olds, single girls who are interested in false eyelashes, type of thing. So your personal branding is your creative space to give yourself that beautiful opportunity and the freedom. Please don't dumb down. Please don't dumb down. Please use this. Please use this right to the max. Don't try and blend in. This is not about blending in. This is about shining your best, being your best, giving your best, magnetizing, attracting the best to you. And your brand, like Taylor Swift, look at her perform. She's not there to appeal to everyone. All right? Chanel is not there to appeal to budget conscious women. So be intentional with your energy, your stage around you, your own identity, because all of the marketing, however you do your marketing, and we'll cover that appropriately in the marketing video training. So this is a precursor to that. There's nothing totally separate. So I'm leading you into each module of training that's relevant after the previous one, because the previous one here was the visioning and who your beingness. So now this is the branding. So just while you're sitting in this, imagining, the posts, the topics you're going to be speaking on, and the videos that you're going to be showing up doing, whether you're at the gym, where you're going for a walk, whether you're sitting on a rock, whether you're in your studio where you do your Zoom calls, but your brand and how you're going to do all your marketing, and like your cover page, and even down to, listen to this, even down to the type of font you would, if you have a real desire to be creative, go for it. This is your space. If you're a creative and technically creative, you would be using Canva to do a lot of the creative work for your cover pages, etc. When you get your cash really, really flowing, then you can hire people to do postings and schedule postings for you. And a site, if you want to look into that now, a site for that's really fabulous is Upwork, upwork.com. Even a lot of millionaires in business, a lot of marketers use Upwork.com, because those people in the Philippines, there's a lot that they do that they're experts in digitally. There is so much talent in that culture, and for those people, like, we might only pay on average about $8 to $10 an hour for what they do, but for them that's a lot. So even if you're only paying $200 a week for what they are going to do for you in your business, that money really enriches that family's life, let me tell you, and they've got a beautiful work ethic. One thing I will say, when you hire someone from the Philippines, don't expect of them what you might expect of someone in our culture. They're excellent at ticking the boxes. So those digital things, that content creating, they're very, very good. But your language must be very clear when you have video calls with them, and give them access to, your pages. I've hired girls in the past. They do what I'm not interested in doing. They're very, very good, but because of the cultural difference, you must be aware they're not going to do the added things you might expect of them from someone in our culture. That is a big point of difference that I would like you to know. So when you're very cashed up from making a few decent sales, I would strongly recommend that, and a lot of service providers don't like marketing, that you can be strategic with the marketing that you do once you've got all this set up, and you can hire them to do your marketing for the week, and your overhead for that is so little, and you get to know them. You hire the right person, and she can be really lovely, do a beautiful job, be totally sincere and genuine, and you realise what you're paying them is very little for what you're getting. So for your marketing, once you've got your branding, all your brandings, your colours are very important. So think on that, make decisions on that. Don't be slow. Make your decision, get into new habits of making decisions fast. Don't ruminate and procrastinate and drag it out. Make decisions fast, be intuitive, go with your feelings of what colours you want, because if you're going to engage anyone to do marketing at any stage in the future, your colours matter. So start with this prestige personal branding now, and decide. Be decisive. Be very decisive on your colours. All right. What else do I want to cover today? That might be all, because some of this leads into the marketing. But your personal style. There are women who have got their real. Some are very very bling. Just be true to you. But you can't be bland. That's not branding. If you're the same every day as before you came into this elevated space, and like a lot of women don't wear makeup, don't wear jewelry, they dress really plain, their hair's like they've just walked out of the kitchen. No, you've got to create a prestige personal brand for yourself. You cannot be asking 10, 15, 20k or even 5k if you look like you've just walked out of the kitchen. So this is you. This is for you to inspire yourself into create it, your personal brand in a prestige space, because this is a descending business model, as I said at the get-go, where you're going to be asking for much higher fees based upon what you're going to be giving your clients, your prospects when they become clients, is a beautiful, rich experience. So take all this, listen to it as many times as you need to. This is your property. Enjoy the process. It's a creative process. And I'll finish off here, and next module we'll be stepping up into the next module. So I'll leave you with that. I won't load you up with anything more, because this is not iconic. This is prestige, and that is enough for you. And give yourself a time frame. You have it set up within 1 week. All right, I'll be back shortly.